Welcome, Tzvi here. It's time again to share a little bit of my knowledge to you, my lovely community, about mindset and how mindset can play a very big positive part in allowing the body to grow and heal itself. I discovered this over 20 years ago. It wasn't focusing on it. It was actually by just changing a few things. Then I realized, wow, change your mindset can change your health. It was something that I was wanting to work on my health more naturally. Coming from a more traditional background, this allowed me the opportunity to heal myself through a very natural way, which I've been striving to do. This video is perfect for the people that want to learn more about mindset, that already have mindset understanding as well, that want to look at how we can expand it. What I did notice is when I started the journey, that by using breath work and noticing the thought pattern that was going on, my thought pattern was very much putting pressure on myself, having to succeed, having to be perfect, and all these things, and it was getting so much from my body. I almost couldn't breathe. The asthma was getting so bad. So what I noticed that when you actually slow it down, that the body can actually calm down. I actually loved what I was doing, that there was pressure that I was putting on myself for no other reason other than I chose to. There wasn't a need to, there was no force for me to do it. I was extremely good at what I was doing. That wasn't an issue. The talent was there. I had the clients, I had all that I needed, but I put the stress on me. And the body says, hey, I'm out of here. I can't handle this stress. It's just getting too much. And how does it let me know? Through certain pains in my body. You can get it in the shoulders, you can get it in the arm, because that was where I was using the computer all day. The body was saying there's just too much stress going on. The breathing wasn't there. I wasn't being present enough, and so the asthma was getting worse. So I tried to change the diet, I tried to do a lot of things that were helping a little bit. Over time I noticed that, hey, when you move the mind into a calm, positive place, the body can actually release those locked up things that's in tension inside the body and allow it to re-heal itself. We know very much from the Gemara that our body's made to heal. It shows us there very clearly. And the more that I let go of trying to control things that really I didn't need to control, wasn't in my need to control it. When I took over things that shouldn't be done, what we call is trying to play God in a sense, is taking over his job and letting that have. I just need to do my little part and know that I'm doing the best I can. And by knowing I can do the best I can and just leave it up to God, Hashem up there, to take care of the rest, it's amazing how much stress comes off the body. Because we're only capable of doing so much, and outside that scope is not for us. I also want to share a very personal story as well. My wife was sick, I think after our fourth child. I could see what was going on, but it was my wife's journey. As much as I wanted to jump in and take control of the thing, I had to let her go on her way. And she went to doctor after doctor, and it wasn't life-threatening, thank God, but it was fairly serious in a way. She could hardly eat anything. She was in a lot of pain. So she got to a stage where the specialist finally said to us, like, there's not a lot of choices you have. You're either going to get chemo, which she didn't have cancer or anything like that, or you really have to change your lifestyle. So she leaves the visit and says, okay, I'm ready to give in now. When can we do the work? So one of the main thing is to really focus on reducing the stress that she was putting on herself, to being perfect and trying to get everything right all the time. The pressure was extreme that the body says, I can't take it anymore. It took a bit of time, but we was able to get there and restore the health. And she was actually able to enjoy life more than she ever did before. What I'm really trying to share with you deeply today is our body has an innate way of healing itself. We have the immune system to strengthen ourselves, to keep it strong. That, when something comes in to attack it, it has ability, when we look after it, to heal it. But if we're eating all the right foods all the time, keeping that very clean, but our mind still, I'll say in a poisoned way, negative, fearful and all that, it has a huge effect on it. I have seen places where they said that 95% of doctors' visits are heavily affected by our emotions. So if they're claiming that a high percent of doctors' visits are affected by our mind, what do you think that's doing to our body? I even saw a story of this lady who a doctor that specialized in infertility, that herself, she couldn't have a child. She had access to absolutely everything in the world and still couldn't have it. And then all of a sudden she decides she's going to adopt a child. So they went off to a hotel, nice and relaxed, thinking they're going to pick up this child they're going to adopt. And then within a short amount of time, she fell pregnant. She's like, what's going on? I have no idea what's going on. So what she discovered was there's a certain spot in the brain that under stress, it shuts things down. But when it's in a meditation state, a completely opposite way. It's in a completely different color of glowing. It's amazing. So the body has ability to protect itself and to let us know that when we have these signs. So what I've learned from this, and I work with my clients, is when you've got these pains or sickness, it's the body being thankful. It's much like that little red light on the dashboard to warn us, please change something. I believe it's God's kindness of way of saying, hey, I love you so much. Let's change something. Let's change our life. Most sicknesses, from what I understand, are a lifestyle issue. So what's the best thing to do? We have to change our lifestyle. Changing our diet has a big part of it. But changing our mindset, we can have visualization of this thing's bad before it's even happened, or when it comes in, we all of a sudden, oh, it's bad, it's negative. Oh, it's going to be a lot of pressure. We've already predicted the future. We've already put a negative taint on it. Why do we need to do that? It's a test from God coming to us, something we're able to do. Otherwise, a test means we're going to fail it. That doesn't make any sense. We have to be open to it. We have to be allowing to it to come in. The biggest thing is to actually be aware. If I can give you one takeaway from this video, is to be aware of our thoughts. The first step is always to be aware of it. If we're not aware of it, then how can we change it? So if we become aware of it, then we know that it's happening. This is a very, very key part. And I always say, until we're ready to be aware of our thoughts and notice it, we can't change. So now we're aware of it. We have the ability to change it and to replace it. And it's like people say, well, what food should I eat? I say, if it looks like real food, then it's healthy. Same thing here. If it's a positive thought, it can be helpful. If it's a negative thought, it's going to be harmful. What is depression? An overdose of negative thoughts. So just bring it back to center and replace it with a positive thought. It's amazing how it happens. It's so quick how the body will respond. Everybody will respond at a different time. How long it will take, I never know. It's sort of the body will all of a sudden will hold on, and then all of a sudden it'll just let go and it'll just release and come into this calmness. You'll feel there's some overwhelming amount of calmness. I want to reiterate again on this thing called lifestyle issue. Now we talk about a thing called a diet. We have to change what we eat. There's also the psychological portion of it, which is a lifestyle. We can have a lifestyle of getting upset with ourselves. We can have a lifestyle of putting pressure on ourselves. But really, God brought us in this world to be able to enjoy it in a positive way. And if things come our way, it's amazing. What I've noticed over many years of working on this, that the more calmer I've come in, the more opportunities come my way. That you just they're like blinkers. When you put this pressure on yourself, you got so focused on this one thing, and it may not be even a positive thing, that you can't see anything around us. So by reducing the pressure and coming into presence, we can actually feel and see what's around us. When I mean feel emotionally about it that's coming in, and we can allow ourselves to judge on things we do like. It takes so much pressure off us, and it allows us to just come straight in and in a joyous way. And adjust on the way. Sometimes the pressure we're putting on ourselves is it gets too rigid, that it gets very hard. Now by opening up and seeing what's around us and judging, and this is good for us, this isn't good for us, it allows it to come in. It reduces the pressure. The straight line we look at has to be perfectly straight. But the problem is that barriers we're putting in the way to get there is pushing through is very slow and hard. Instead of opening up and saying, this is coming in this way, this is coming in that way. Yes, this is going to be very helpful. And I'd like to give an example. The only other week, I was trying to work on something, a new title for a video. It's like, what should I do? What should I do? So, okay, let's just go through the day. Let's just listen to what's happening on, listen to what clients telling me, listen to people that I spend time with. And then all of a sudden, by the end of the day, I already had 2 or 3 titles, just because I was being present and just listening to what's going on. Because obviously what I'm hearing during the day is something relevant that's going on. So if it's relevant, that means I can produce it. I want to thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. If you subscribe already, thank you very much. If you don't, please. I look forward to seeing you subscribe. Looking forward to sharing much more with you, and looking forward to reading the comments. Either put them in the comments down below or direct them straight to me. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.